Hey, what's up? That is a necessity, darling, when working out. But anyway, what's up, y'all? Hot flashers. We are here because we have not questions, but we have noticed ever since we started from Hot Girls to Hot Flashes. Thank you so much for your support, by the way. We have found ourselves talking about different things that we've already discussed, just kind of reiterating a couple things. So we decided to kick off the month of April, just going through the different stages or things that we noticed from the time of us not being ourselves, this perimenopause journey, like how it all starts. So with that, we're gonna kick off the month of April with like talking about the something is off stage. So we're gonna get into it, Kiki, and I want to ask you,
Mm.
how did you know that something was different? How did you find out or figure out that this was perimenopause? Because we talked about this before, you guys, when we first started the pod, but just noticing that there's a lot more to it than just kind of, oh, well, I didn't feel right. So the next thing you know, like that. So, Kiki.
I don't think I knew. Like, it starts in phases. I think people think that perimenopause, you wake up one day, "Ooh, I'm in it."
Hmm.
And it just doesn't happen like
Hmm.
that. It
Hmm.
starts gradually, like you're in your 20s and things just feel a little off and
Hmm.
it's a little different. I wake up and I'm hot. I'm like, why am I
Hmm.
kind of hot?
Hmm.
You know, you get irritated more easily.
Yes, you do.
You get rage driving down the street in this Atlanta traffic and you
uh,
cussing at people and yelling, "Get out of my way.
mm,
Why are you driving so slow?" Move.
is it just me?
Like, I was not this angry before. Why am
Right.
I all of a sudden so angry now? And, it's just like the little things.
Hmm.
And when you go to the doctor and you ask questions or you talk to your friends and like, oh no, I'm not experiencing that. So
Hmm.
you're thinking, is it just me?
Right.
Or is there something going on? And so it's like you start noticing that, yeah, there is something different and I need to start paying attention to
Hmm.
it. So for me, it started in my 20s, like just my menstrual cycles got different.
Hmm.
They got heavier, they were more painful.
Hmm.
And then, like I said, the other stuff, I started getting hot. I started sweating. I started having night sweats in my 20s. Like,
Really?
yes. And I asked my doctor, he was like, no, you're fine. But are you really fine? Is that really normal?
Right.
And so that's the thing we kind of want to talk about. And we've been having more conversations about it. Like, wait a minute, maybe this started earlier than I
Right.
thought it did.
Right, because we're noticing that perimenopause is not just a Gen X thing. It's not a middle-aged woman issue. It's not something that only happens when you reach, we like to joke that we're women of a certain age, but it doesn't only happen then.
Mhm.
It can happen years before. I have a friend who started having night sweats after she had her second child. She had her second child when she was 27,
Mhm.
and the night sweat started and did not let up. Fast forward 20 years later, she's still having them. So perimenopause is not something that's easily defined.
Mhm.
It happens because we know when we are not ourselves.
When something's just not right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. For
Mhm.
me, it was more of a mind thing, a mindset.
Mm.
I pride myself on being, calculating, being rational, things of that nature, cold even when it comes to work and dealing with things. I think more or I process more with my head than I
Mhm.
do with my heart. And because of that, it served me in good stead. But I noticed about 2 years ago, certain things I was going more in depth. I was thinking about things. I was second guessing myself. And I'm not a second guesser. So it used to throw me. Then being in a new marriage,
Mhm.
navigating, having bonus daughters, dealing with being with someone 24/7, someone living with you, in your personal space. I love you, honey. But yes, in the beginning, it was a lot, and for someone who prides herself on being rational,
Mhm.
I was beginning to get irrational, and it was over the tiniest things. Case in point, when my husband, before we got married, he moved from Jersey down to Georgia. There was a conference that I had to attend in Athens. So he moved, he brought all his stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. He's coming. Y'all, he came. And when I tell you the amount of stuff that he came with, I said, okay, I'm going to be gone for 2.5 days. When I get back, can you please have some symmetry to this? I'm still happy that you're here, but yeah, let's just make our home, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, when she got home, my phone was going had to talk somebody off a lid. He got to get out of here. But go ahead with your story.
Yeah, listen, listen, y'all. She is not. I'm like, this is too much stuff. I can't. I don't do clutter well. And what I saw as clutter, he saw as, oh, I'm just stacking it over here for a little while. If I can't see my floor, we have a problem. If I can't see the corners of my walls, we have a problem. So I went through it. And I called Kiki saying, I don't know what's going on. This man's gonna have to get out of here with all this stuff. He's gonna have who has 3 irons? Who has 4 crock pots? True story. So I'm just saying to myself, I'm not usually like this. Why am I getting so upset that he's coming with his stuff? And it still took me a while because I didn't know what was going on. I just knew something was off.
Mhm. And it is ever changing.
Yes.
You kind of ebb and flow with it. Some days it's okay and some days it's not okay. And
Hmm.
I think that's the thing too is once you're in perimenopause, people think, "Oh, well, you know who you are, you know what you're dealing with." But
Yes.
that's not the
No,
case
no.
because I'm me today
Hmm.
and then tomorrow,
Yes.
something happens, that irritability, the
Yes.
mood swings,
Yes.
all of that stuff, it kind
Hmm.
of changes your personality a little bit,
Hmm.
I think,
Yeah.
and it kind of throws you. Something's not quite right, but what is it?
Personality change. That's the
Mhm.
thing. When you don't feel like yourself, I'll give you another thing. Driving. I love to drive. Driving is my thing. Oh, girl, I'm getting hot. Driving is my thing. I love the relaxation. I love the whole sense of freedom. I was driving down the road 2 years ago. I will never forget. It was at 4:45 in the morning on my way to the gym. They're big trucks, always on I-20, no problem. Y'all, I was getting close to the trucks and I found myself at the 10 and 2 position, like, oh my God, oh, it's about to be, oh. I'm saying to
Mhm.
myself, fool, what is wrong with you? You don't ever have any problem. I had driving anxiety.
Mhm.
I was so afraid that those vehicles were going to hit me. I was moving at a slow creep. I
Mhm.
was shaking by the time I got to the gym. And I was saying, you know what? Maybe it's a protein shake. Maybe it's a pre workout. Maybe you didn't
Mm-mm.
stretch enough.
Mm-mm.
But when I tell you that driving anxiety, it went on for about 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And I was so surprised because I'm like, that's not me. And as quick as it started,
Mhm.
it stopped.
Mhm.
It stopped
And
with no rhyme or
sometimes
reason.
sometimes it comes and goes though, because
Right.
sometimes I'm in the car and I do that, like I'm driving next to something and I don't know if it's my depth perception that's changing or
Mhm.
it's just my eyes, because Lord knows we will talk about my eyes at another time, but I cannot see as I used to see. And so I'm driving and I think like something's super close to me. So I'm
Mhm.
like hugging the lines. I don't
Right.
know. Do I need to be closer to this line? Do I need to
Okay.
be closer to that line?
Okay.
Like it's just
Okay.
perimenopause, y'all, is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
The things that you go through, it's
Mhm.
just mind-boggling. You just do not know
Right.
what's what. You don't know if you're coming or going, but you do know that something's
Something is
different.
off. Yeah,
Something
something
is
is off.
yes.
And how do we regulate? Remember what Kiki said in the very beginning when we started Hot Girls to Hot Flashes? Write things down. If you notice that there's a change in your psyche, and some people will say, oh, it ain't even that deep. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because you are a woman and at the core of you, your core is shaken.
Mhm.
So if you notice that something is off, do not hesitate. Do not, well, I'll do it later. Oh, I'm not worried about it. That's the problem with a lot of people in our communities now, not trying to get into the solution. You know about the problem.
Mhm.
You talk about the problem all day
Oh
long,
yeah. Mhm.
but getting into the solution, oh no, well, I just feel like,
And I
no.
think it's too younger women don't take it seriously, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
my daughters are in their 20s
Mhm.
and when you're in your 20s, you're indestructible. Like
What?
I can do whatever, I can go
Anything,
whatever.
anything.
One of our young friends
Hot
went
girl for real.
drinking this weekend and I can bounce back. I'm good. you
Listen,
know, that
honey,
bounce back when you get closer to 30 is not the same as it was when you're closer to your teens. It's a
listen.
whole different struggle.
As a 20-year-old, honey, you can go out, you can hang out, you can love, you can do whatever. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Turn around, 7 a.m., right as the mail, but just ready to get yourself together. Now?
Oh, yeah.
Now?
No, ma'am.
Now?
Now,
Oh,
this was
no.
8 o'clock. Wondering 8 o'clock. I'm shutting it down. It's
Listen,
time to wrap it up. We're
y'all need
going
to go
home.
home. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do anything. But like I said, because your body is making changes
Mhm.
and perimenopause. Do you guys realize we are going from reproductive mode
Mhm.
to preservation mode? That's the best way that I can describe the feelings of perimenopause and everything. When you go through puberty, your body's just getting ready for reproduction, getting ready,
Mhm.
getting ready.
Mhm.
But then when you hit this other side, estrogen goes down, mood swings, irritabilities. Oh, and don't forget the ever present hot flashes and night sweats. Now, mind you, there are plenty of women that don't have this issue.
Mhm.
There are plenty of women, I've had women brag to me, oh, I don't have that issue.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
going through
yeah, I
perimenopause.
didn't
I'm
have
in
that
my
problem.
50s. I'm not doing it.
I didn't have that
Yeah.
problem. Oh, all I did, honey, I got the shot and I was great. Shot don't work for everybody. I just utilized the pellets and it was I don't know what the pellet is. I don't know what it's for. I don't know the meaning. All I know is I can't take it because I've had blood clots. So when you know that something is off on your body that's not your norm,
Pay attention,
thank you.
please.
Because women, we have more than just this stuff going on.
Mhm.
Some women have IBS,
Mhm.
some women have PCOS, some women have diabetes, some women have. Thank you, Miss Annie.
'Cause all that's
Oh,
me.
Lord, look up.
You
Sorry.
describing my life. This is me. Everything that you just said, me.
You see what I'm saying? So how could you recognize
Mhm.
menopause? How would you know
Exactly.
the signs?
Mhm.
High blood pressure runs in people's. Oh, you know what? I'm trying to hit one that does not hit you, Kiki, because it's like these are the things that are always affecting our community. Then you talk about the cholesterol count. Let me see if I have that for it. Okay. Cholesterol count. You have weight issues, the constant.
Imma start raising my hand. I'm just gonna be
Yes.
quiet.
Because she's a size 6 and I'm like almost triple her size. Anyway, but when we talk about these things, you already have things going on. What's next? You don't know, but you are to recognize that when you get kind of close up in age, close to the big 5-0, even when you're younger,
Start
these are
paying attention.
things to pay attention to.
Mhm. Definitely.
So, yeah, is there anything else that you noticed, like something being off?
So with me, it was I won't say it's hormones because I didn't know it was my hormones, but I started gaining weight, couldn't lose weight. Hair growth, acne, adult. I'm an adult
Adult acne?
person. Yes, I had adult acne, and I'm like, what is happening to my life? So you go through changes that you don't think about it. Like, oh, I have a pimple here, I have a pimple there. What's that
Mhm,
about?
mhm.
Getting chin hair. What's that about? And me and my husband and I had a chin hair conversation. We were in the car. We talked about my 5 o'clock shadow one day. And it's
And
just,
he said it so sweetly and so sultry. Like we didn't even think anything of it until she read back like, "What?" And we were like, "Oh, that's what he was talking about." Very funny.
yes.
Yes.
And so changes that you don't think are
Mhm,
related to your hormones, related to going through menstrual changes
mhm,
or having issues like
mhm,
PCOS.
mhm,
You don't think like, oh well, what is this? Because I think as women, we look at the small symptoms, right?
mhm,
And don't put it together as a whole. And if you
mhm,
don't have somebody supporting you, like your doctor, that
mhm,
puts it together as a whole,
mhm,
you're kind of going through piecing it together. Because that's how it came to with realizing I was in perimenopause because I
mhm,
had all these things happening. Like, oh
mhm,
well, I'm irritable, I'm having hot flashes,
mhm,
I'm having insulin resistance, I'm gaining weight. But
mhm,
I talked to my doctor about each individual thing,
mhm.
and it took forever for it to come together. Oh, you're perimenopausal. Like,
Wow,
oh, okay. So,
that's
ladies,
crazy.
remember to write down your symptoms, all the
Mhm.
things that are happening, and do your own research
Right,
because you are your own best friend. You are
right,
your own advocate
right,
for all these things.
right. And
So
I'm sorry, someone who doesn't have like a lot of issues like that, for me, it was the weight, not the weight gain, but it was my hunger, like my
mhm,
appetite changed.
mhm,
My appetite changed and my cycle was still on. I still have my cycle. I still have a cycle. So it's like, oh, perimenopause is only, you know, that ain't nothing.
mhm,
But then perimenopause is defined as going through 12 consecutive months without a menstrual cycle. When you go through those 12 months without the cycle, that is supposed to be when you are fully in perimenopause, and then you slip over to menopause after that 12th month. But the start of perimenopause, noticing that things are off,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
appetite for me, the mindset of just not being as confident as I was, trying to figure out exactly why am I thinking like this? Why am I feeling like this? And not getting any help from a partner, not getting any help from, hey, I love my mother. I know you love your mother.
Oh, yeah.
But when I start having these things, I'm asking my mom, what is happening? Y'all, my mom was so cool. Well, I mean, these things happen. You just have to be. And I'm sitting up there. Well, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, I didn't have that.
No real solution at all.
What? Yeah, yeah. She didn't have, if I can, disclose, she didn't have hot flashes more so like I do. She's
Mhm.
like, she didn't have it. She didn't have it
Mhm.
like that. But some of the women that I would see, like moisture just pouring off of them. And I'm one of those ones depending on what I eat.
Mhm.
So it's again the hunger. Foodie, love food. So it's something that you have to make sure that you are paying attention to,
For
because
sure. Mhm.
no one else is going to do it.
Mm-mm. And no one knows you like you know you, right?
Right.
So you have to be mindful of those changes. Just pick up on the little things, ladies, because
Mhm.
that's the thing is the little things that you don't pay attention to in your day-to-day life. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I feel a little different. If you feel a little different consecutively
Yeah.
or often, you
Mhm.
need to pay attention to it because that something is happening for
Right.
sure.
Right.
So don't miss those signs.
Okay, so writing things down, being mindful, talking to a medical professional, because we are not medical professionals.
Not at all.
So make sure you talk to someone about that so you can just get that trajectory started. Like Kiki said, her stuff didn't come together until she laid everything out and time passed.
Mhm.
For me, it was about doing more research, looking at how I was and talking to my doctor after I just gathered everything. This, well, maybe. And that, turns out that's what it was. So, Kiki, anything else for the people?
I think we're done, people. I feel like we've covered a lot. Please make sure you comment. We want to hear your thoughts on this. We want to know what works for you. Thank you so much again for your support. Follow us on all of our socials. We are on Instagram and also TikTok. Look for From Hot Girls to Hot Flashes. Stream us wherever you get your pods. We're on YouTube. Um,
Yeah,
everywhere.
listen,
Everywhere.
y'all, she's getting it all out there. But when I tell you, for two working professional Gen X women, it's a struggle bus to make sure that we are tip top in social media. So charge it to our heads,
Very
charge it to
much.
listen, charge it to the perimenopause journey and not our hearts. So until next time, you guys, we'll catch you later.
Bye, Hot Flashers.